Welcome everybody to another episode of the T Corner. I'm your host, Mr. CEO's. Oh no, I can't say that no more. It's Terence Da Spoken King. See, I thought y'all was gonna give me to say it again. Nah, it ain't happening no more. But yes, indeed. I hope that y'all having a beautiful, blessed day. And like I always say, if you are able to hear me right now, consider yourself blessed because you was blessed to see another day. And we must simplify life just like that. Count the little small things as your blessings and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like waking up in the morning, seeing the sunshine and the birds and the bees and the trees. And well, maybe not the bees because they sting, but y'all get the point. But yes, today we have an author that has written numerous books. She's a 10-time published author. She is a motivational, transformational speaker, and she's even a writing coach, and she's going to be talking about that today. So let's welcome Miss Ebony Nicole Smith to the show. Here we go. Welcome.
Hi,
How you
thank
doing?
you. I'm very well. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing
Good.
good. Hey, looky here. Crazy days can't stop the rain. You know what I'm saying? So you know what? We got to keep on going, and even when it rains, the sun still shines. So that's
Absolutely.
how I got to look at life. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in
So yeah.
Rochester, New York, and it's raining now. It's not bad, but just little sprinkles.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See, those type of rains right there, I call my knockout. Cause yeah, if I look at it long enough, I'm going to sleep. No matter if I'm working or if I'm just watching TV. Yeah, that's the knockout rain. So so yes, tell me. So what kind of books have you published and stuff? Because I we gotta dissect this because you got so much talent that yeah, I want to talk about this.
Yeah, so before I jump into what I do, let me just give a little tidbit into your audience of who I am. As you said before, I am Ebony Nicole. I'm a writing coach and publisher engineer. I'm also a self published author, a transformational speaker, and a host. I have a couple of the one podcast and I'm working on another. Uh, I have been in business. Well, let me see. I've been in business since 2016, and I've been writing and publishing since 2010, 2012, respectively. So I
Mm.
have some skin in the game.
Oh yes,
So
indeed.
yeah, but when it comes to the type of work I create, it's Christian fiction. So
Mm.
I have Christian fiction novels. I also have devotionals and journals that I have created. So I try to dab in a little bit of everything around that Christians would be interested in. I am also working on my very first memoir called Heart Attacks Happen, a memoir on love and relationships, which I'm looking to release on my birthday in November.
Mm. Mm. Not bad. And I just want to know because like it's very good to hear somebody doing Christian fiction books because I like to like know more about that and stuff because we oftentimes hear about other fiction books and stuff like that, but we never hear too much about Christian based fiction books. And so like what got you started in wanting to do that?
Well, I began in, I think it was maybe the spring of 2010.
Hmm.
And the story I did just literally came out of nowhere. I was in wasn't a relationship. I don't know what to call it now at this point, but we were something. And I became frustrated with him and with myself for being still in that situation. And out of nowhere, the first scene of my book popped in my head and I just ran with it.
Mm.
One thing that I wanted to do was just for the main character, her name is Eve, and she was just going through all of these emotions and didn't know how to. My phone just keep chiming. It's so crazy because when I'm not doing anything, everybody got something to say, or nobody has anything to say. But as soon as I become busy, that's when everybody want to text and call. So I apologize for that. Um,
Hmm.
but Eve,
Hey, look, it's
she
okay.
okay. So with Eve, she was going through all these different emotions and she wasn't sure how to handle them. So she talked to her pastor, who also happened to be her godfather, and she trusted in his leadership, trusted in his guidance, and knew that he wouldn't judge her, that he would lead her into being able to handle these things. So that's how it started off. And then in 2011, December 31st, 2011, I got saved. And that completely changed the trajectory of my book. A lot of things that was previously written in it, I either removed it or kind of toned it down a little bit. So that's how I became a Christian fiction author, because I got saved and I wanted to talk about things that Christians actually go through. And it's not, and no shade to anybody else, but I stayed away from the church girl gone bad. I stayed away from the church boy who is a pastor, a PK kid or a pastor's kid, and all of a sudden he wants to be a drug dealer out of some randomness. I, I no. So my books deal with the real. Um,
Yeah,
with infidelity, it's not so much focused on the infidelity, but what that looks like from an emotional standpoint, what that does to the marriage, what that does to them individually, collectively, what that does to any family and friends, and how that alters their lives. So that came. That's how I attacked rather Christian fiction from my standpoint.
oh yes, indeed, yes, indeed, because that's interesting. That's interesting. And I like the fact that you kept it real and you did not do what most people would like how you said, like the PK kid gone as a drug dealer, or a walker of the streets, and I'm like, no, that's not what actually happens.
Right.
But like depression, anxiety,
Hmm.
going through hardship and pain,
Yeah.
and breakups and makeups, like
Yeah.
that's real life right there.
Yeah. It absolutely is. Yes.
And I love that you did that. I love that you did that. And keep on writing books like that because the world needs that. You know, with everything that's going on, the world needs that.
Absolutely. It's being a Christian fiction and just being a Christian author all around.
Mhm.
I found the need or the want to not be stereotypical in my writing,
Oh
not
yeah,
to be like the masses. And what I tell my clients as well, even if they're writing fiction or nonfiction, you don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You can
exactly.
step out. You can step out the box and be different. You can set yourself apart. It's not hard
Hmm.
to do. It's actually fairly easy. You just have to find your audience. To You need to find your audience. Once you find your audience, you write for them instead of for everybody.
Exactly. 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 So now, you said that you are a writing coach.
Mhm.
Now, what all do you do as a writing coach, and explain to the audience what all that means, and stuff like that.
Yeah. So as a writing coach, I help my clients go from ideal to a completed manuscript. So some of my clients come and they're like, Coach, I have an idea. I want to write a book about whatever,
Mhm.
and I'm like, okay, well, let's hammer it out. So we'll create
Mhm.
outlines. We will dig deep into the purpose of the book, who their target
Mhm.
audience is going to be, um, and we just get it all out. And we work to get their first draft done. And then I have some clients who come with their first draft already completed, but then they need additional work on it, which is one of the best things. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been doing this since 2016, and I absolutely love when I critique manuscripts. It's fun, and I say it is. It's fun and challenging, uh, but I enjoy it, and I help my clients to pull out the best in them, and I pull out the best in your manuscripts.
Mhm.
Typically, what I see is, especially when it comes to my clients who want to write their memoirs or their autobiographies, I can tell when they're holding back. I can tell when they want to share something, they maybe might give like a little sentence about it and
Mhm.
leave it alone. But I'm like, you can't poke a bear and then run away. No, if you're going to poke
Mhm.
that bear, you're going to stand there and wait for it to respond. So I encourage my clients to be authentically them in their writing and to share the story that they believe God gave them to share. Um, Through the years, I've gotten a keen ear when I'm talking to them to know if they really are truly ready to write their book or if they just like the ideal of it. If you are
Mhm.
someone who just likes the ideal of writing a book, you're not ready for me yet. And that's okay. And I tell people, you're not ready for me yet. You
Mhm.
just want to talk to me about the ideal of your book, but you're not ready to put in that work. And I send them on their way. I recommend to them to get one of my to enroll in my writer's course that takes
Mhm.
them from ideal to actual book if I can tell they're not ready. And I'm quite always on point with that because they'll send me an email, Coach. You know what? You're right. I wasn't ready, but I'll go ahead and get the writer's course, and I'll contact you when I'm done. And they do because
Mhm.
one of the things as a writing coach, one of the things I don't want to do is to bring you into my fold and you just like the idea of being an author, but you're not ready to put in that work because I can't make you write your book. There's absolutely
Yeah.
nothing I can do. I can email you, text you, send smoke signals. I can talk junk to you, threaten you, tell you I'm on my way, I'm hopping on the plane, coming to your house, all this stuff that I can say to you. But if you don't want to write your book, you're not going to do it. So
Yeah.
at this point in the last year, one of the things that I've been requiring from potential clients is to come with at least the first rough draft, so I can see what you have. So I'm, you give me your materials, and then I can build from there. But that's the kind of gist of being a writing coach is to pull out the best in you and to pull out the best in your story.
Hmm. And see, you said something that I want to touch on, and it was that you want people to give their rough drafts first, and I get where you coming from with that. If you if you if a person gives you their rough draft, it's already it's already ready. All you gotta
Yeah,
do is just read it, see what need to be corrected and stuff. But you don't have to wait on them. You don't have to
yeah,
be like, oh wait, I'm not, I just can't finish this part. Be like, no,
yeah.
it's already done.
It's
And
already done.
another part that you said was you can't make a person do anything. It's like
Can't.
the old tale about leading the horse to the well. Yeah, you can lead them to the well, but you can't make them drink. Um,
No, you can't. Not at all. And I'm not
exactly.
leading you in that manner. I can't do it anymore. I used to.
Hmm.
Um, when I explain what I do as a writing coach, my clients come with ideas and I help them get
Hmm.
to for the rough draft.
Hmm.
If my client says that through conversation, again, I could tell if you are truly ready to put in the work because it's going to be some work. Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's not easy
Oh
if
yeah.
you're going to put in the work. If
Oh
I
yeah.
can tell through conversation that you aren't ready through that first consultation, I know if you're ready or not. Then I'm gonna send you
Mhm.
on over. You get my work my writer's course. But if you are ready, then I'll work with you. We'll get your first draft done and proceed from there. But I do prefer you having your rough draft because I can see where you are. I see where you're coming from, where you are, and where I can help you go. It's easier if you again. I see it. I think of it as building, taking an empty lot. You have the idea, which would be the blueprint prints. You ordered your material, which would be the rough draft, and then giving it to me. I'm going to go ahead and build. I prefer you already had your rough draft completed because I'm better able to help you from there. Although I can help you, if you just got the idea. That's not a problem. I can do that as well. But that rough draft is what I prefer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it also shows to you that they are dedicated. If they dedicated
Absolutely,
to write a
absolutely,
full rough draft,
yeah,
half the battle's already over. And
absolutely, yeah,
they real about what they saying.
yeah.
And to me, as a writer, as a poet, and as an author, that's paramount. Cause
Hmm.
I caught everything that you were saying
Hmm.
that quick. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's more of like a dedication factor. How dedicated are you?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because they can lose dedication when it goes. If a customer or not customer, a client comes to me, an inspiring
Hmm.
author comes to me, and all she or he has is just the ideal.
Hmm.
Their dedication is wavy.
Hmm.
It's wavy. It's uncertain because life does happen, and you
Hmm.
can be 4 chapters in, life happens, you're like, well, coach, I can't because blah 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 blah, and then I still have you on my roster, and honestly, you're taking up space for somebody else, and so
Hmm.
now I'm going to be inclined to remove you.
Hmm.
And I have contracts, and I reach out, and after 30 days of no contact, once that 1 year is up, all funds are forfeited.
Hmm.
So I prefer you come with your completed manuscript because you're giving me something to actually work with, and I know that since I have it, you are committed to this thing. Does it always happen that way? No, because I've had a client. We went through the. He completed his manuscript. I read it, gave him a lot of feedback on what to do to improve it.
Hmm.
He started working on it, and then out of nowhere, he disappeared. And I reached out month of not hearing from him. I sent him a follow up email after a year. I think it was maybe like a month after the contract had actually expired because I forgot. So I sent him an email and told him his contract had expired. And if he would like to restart, we can, but it would be under the new rates that I have for my services. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
you can't jump into, how can I say this? With me, for
Yeah.
Ebony Nicole,
Hmm.
you can't start with me and then all of a sudden give up. It doesn't work
Yeah.
that way
No.
because
No.
I'm. If you do, just know I'm not going to run you down. If you decide, I no longer want to do this, then per the contract, you forfeit all those funds. So if you just
Yeah.
want to give me money, then just give me money. But I don't want your money in that capacity. I really don't. I know some people be like, oh, well, they paid, you know, their deposit and made the first 2 months of installments, and then that's it. But that's all good and well, but I don't want your money in that manner. I prefer you to have a book in hand ready for immediate sales than you making payments and not receiving a product.
Hmm.
So yeah, unless you are seriously ready. If you know you just like the idea, don't bother me. Don't do it. Because I'm just gonna
Exactly.
tell you, you're not even ready. So
exactly. And
yeah,
in the writing world and in any English class that you take, they would call that the brainstorming
yeah,
uh, method. You know, like, yo, you just in the brainstorming mode.
yeah.
Yes,
That's it. That's
it's
it.
cool to brainstorm, but when you start wanting like professional help, no, you're gonna have to already have your ideas down, your direction already laid out, the path already chosen, you you're gonna have to have like
Something.
collateral, something.
Yeah.
And I can
I
respect that. I respect that totally.
I've had people come to me with their idea, but they're not sure how to lay it out. They don't know where they should start. They don't know where they should finish. They don't know what to include or anything like that. I'm all for it. What I
Hmm.
do in that capacity is I have a pick my brain session.
Hmm.
Okay, so a pick my brain session is a 1 hour recorded uh, call that we do. Either we do it through Zoom, so that I'm looking at you, you're looking at me. We can share screens if need be, and I'm recording it so you can later replay it. And during that call, we're going over the ideal that you had. And tell me about your book. What's the purpose of it? Now you don't know where to start. Okay, well, based on our conversation, based on what you just told me, you should start. My professional recommendation is for you to start here. And when you start here, this is what you should include. And so I help them hash that out in that 1 hour call. And yeah, and they can go back and replay it as much as they want. And they have the content, they have the the start of their book. They have the necessary things that they need
Hmm.
to actually complete their first draft with that call. Um,
Yeah.
and the hopes would be once they have at least their first draft completed, that they reach back out to me and like, coach, I got my first draft. Now what? Okay, let's get another
Yeah.
call. Let's get moving. I'll let you know. Send me the first 5 chapters so I can see, not first 5 chapters, the first 5 pages, so I can see your writing style and to see what type of work is going to be required. I ask for samples of your writing because I
Hmm.
know because I know um, that everyone writing style is clearly different, but
Hmm.
some people will require a lot more work, a lot
Yeah.
of work, and so I need to see what I'm going to be working with so that I can quote you according to your needs to publish your book.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. So now I want to talk about something that's very important, and it's something that you do, and it's very needed in the world, even today with everything that's going on. And it's the motivational speaker.
Mhm.
Like, to me, motivational speakers are more important in this era than in any other time. Because the reason why is because 2020, yo, I know a lot of my friends that was like on YouTube listening to all kind of motivational speakers like Les Brown. Um, I forgot about the coach that's I think he's in Michigan. He wearing like a black hat and stuff. He real popular and stuff. Forgive me, I forgot his name and stuff, but he's real known. But
Oh, he I forget his name. I know who
yeah,
you're
yeah,
talking
because he
about.
goes
Yeah.
he goes to the sports teams and
It's
stuff like that.
is it E oh my god. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
He's
And
always so hyped. I
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
him.
And
Yeah,
he
he's
sounds
really
like
hyped.
a coach, like on the
Yep.
football field and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love his style. And I
Yeah.
just like love all different kinds of motivational speakers because
Yeah.
they was well needed in a time when the world was depressed the most.
Mhm.
And I just want to know what brought you to that moment of when you said, you know what? I need to pursue this?
I would say it started with my friends uh, asking me for my advice.
Hmm.
And the advice that I would give them wasn't to motivate them. I don't want to motivate you because motivation isn't permanent, but transformation is. So when I would give them that advice, the advice is to transform their minds, transform their actions, and transform their lives. That's why I go by a transformational speaker. Because at the end of you hearing me, at the end of our conversation, you are, my hope is that you are transformed. And if you are just motivated, motivation leaves you open to doing and not doing.
Yeah,
Motivation
exactly.
gives you the option. Motivation allows you to be topsy turvy. Like, I might do it sound good,
Mhm.
but
Yeah, I
however,
feel you on that.
if you are transformed, there's no going back. You
Hmm.
have to press forward because
Oh
you
yeah,
have been changed.
come on now,
Yeah.
come on. Now,
So
that's
it
a
started with
song right
friends.
there.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
listen.
yes.
It started with friends. It started with my friends, and then it progressed from there. I would just see people would post that they're having an event, and I'll reach out to them. Hey, are you looking for a speaker? And if they were, I would, say, hey, how can I apply? If they
Mhm.
weren't looking for applications, it was like, well, yeah, I'll let you, speak on my platform. So this built from there. I had hired a speaking coach to help me out as well. And one of the things I noticed is that I used to speak with my hands like up here and
Mhm.
above around my face, because I do
Yeah,
speak with my hands. Even though I'm talking to you now, my hands are, I don't move my hands for the most part uh, above my chest. And I
come
keep
on
it like
now.
right at my side because if I am being photographed or videoed, I don't want my hands to be in the way. And then your hands can be a
Exactly.
distraction as well. So although I do speak with my hands, they're not going to be a distraction. Another
And
thing that
mhm.
my coach had taught me was to always um, give the audience actions to follow. If I'm looking to transform you, I can't just tell you to transform. I have to show you how to transform and to give you instructions on
Mhm.
how to effectively do it and some tasks that you must follow to transform in whatever it is that we're discussing. So yeah, that's it.
I just want to say one thing to the audience right now. What she what she just told y'all is what we learned because I have a degree in radio TV broadcasting. So everything that you done said is what we was taught night not what we was taught in the radio field, in not like the radio TV field. Like, yo, when you on live, hey, it's okay to move your hands,
Yeah.
but don't be
Mhm.
all like this, like you see me sit, like the way you
It's a
see me sit.
distraction.
Yeah, yeah, like the way you see me sitting. Like I'm moving my hands, but
Yeah,
it's not in the camera view.
exactly. Exactly.
And it's hard when you first start learning it. It's like, yo,
It
because you
is.
like this, hey, because like you
Hmm.
saw me in the beginning of the video, I was like this right here,
Yeah.
but I saw that my hands was in the video, so I was like
Yep.
this.
Yeah.
You
You have
just
to.
learn that over test of time. So
Yep.
yo,
Another
that's
thing I
beautiful.
another thing I would recommend as well is, and I do this. It is just natural for me, right?
Hmm.
When I go into a space, if I'm doing it live, not like,
Hmm.
of course, not like this, but in a space, I'm in a location. When
Hmm.
I get there, I go around, I talk to people. I talk to the
Hmm.
audience. Hey, I'm Ebony Nicole. Hey, I'm Ebony Nicole. I'm talking with you. I'm not going to get to know you, of course, but we might laugh and share a
Yeah,
kiki, something. But
yeah.
because then when I get on stage, and
And,
I do it strategically where I can, like, let's say this, I have the room here. I talk to somebody on this side, somebody directly in front of me, and somebody on this side of me. And then what I do when I get on stage is I look at those three people that I chatted up with.
Mm-hmm.
If you're nervous, that works. And sometimes I can be so nervous before I step on stage, but then I walk on stage, step on stage, my nerves are calm. But when I first started, my nerves would never calm. And so
Mm-hmm.
I began to just talk to people around the
Yeah.
room. And then I would make eye contact with those three people or group, however many people was I chatted with, because we just had a conversation. We just talked. We just laughed. We just shared something, whatever it is. And so when I look at you, I'm going to see that you are paying attention. I'm going to see the head nods. I'm going to see the facial look like, okay, girl, I hear you. And I will see the smiles and things like that, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to if I just come in and hop on stage, I didn't connect with anybody. So now I have to really push through and connect with someone
Yeah.
and connect with the audience. But if
And
I've already connected with some people, then I'm
mm-hmm.
good to go. I'm half the battle's already won because
Come on now.
I've made that connection with people already. So that is something that I would highly recommend if you are going to step on stage of any size, and if you're stepping in a room and y'all are whatever, talk to people beforehand,
Oh
and
yeah,
then you
and
look at
that's a
those
must.
persons. Yeah, you look at those persons. That way, you're
Mhm.
to help you not be as nervous. Um,
Yeah.
another thing would be if you are in a large room and you aren't comfortable making eye contact. A lot of people aren't. I don't mind. I look people straight in the eyes
Mm-hmm.
because we're having a conversation. Where else am I supposed to look?
Exactly.
so,
Exactly.
when I do speaking engagements, I go and I look at the audience straight in the eye. But before I could, I would just look at things in the direction of the audience. Like I would look at the exit sign, or I would look in that direction, but not look at people, but look at a poster or something, so that I'm looking in the direction of the audience, but I'm not making eye contact because of if I was afraid at that point. But now doing this is so long, I it just flows.
And that's awesome. That's awesome
Yeah.
because what you said was something that one of my instructors in college, one of my professors in college once told me like this. If like we gonna get rid of y'all phobia. If
Mm-hmm.
you ain't looking in front, if you ain't looking in the camera,
Yep.
it's gonna look like you're not looking in the camera on the camera,
Yeah.
on the TV. Don't look at the exit sign. Don't look at the person behind the camera. Look and face your fears and look
That's
into
right.
the camera. And,
That's
and,
right.
and you know that is a hill by itself.
It is.
And I remember I was so nervous the first time I had to do that. Man, I was like this. Uh, what? And here's my
Okay.
instructor. Like, look at the camera. like, I'm like this. Yo, I'm getting hypnotized. Just look at this camera. I'll just
That's
pass
funny.
out.
Because
But
it's because you know what I think. Well, for me, I'll say for me, before
mhm,
I became comfortable, I was always worried about what people were thinking. I'm wondering,
exactly,
did I
exactly.
did I stutter? Am I speaking too fast? Am I clear? Am I clear enough?
See,
Would
you
you
know,
know?
you know.
And I'm thinking about, is my shirt okay? Is my hair okay? Is my makeup straight? Do I got makeup on my? Do I
We
have lipstick
we,
on
we
my
call
teeth?
that
I'm thinking about everything.
we call that the 1,000 questions.
And that makes
1,000
sense.
questions is going to go through your head when the lights
Absolutely.
and the cameras is on.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all don't believe us, go to a
Yeah.
live event and stand in front of the crowd. It's going to be 1,001 questions that
And
will hit your head in 10.0 seconds.
you can't
Like,
answer them all. You're like, and
yeah.
that's what adds to the nervousness. It's like, what are people thinking? Are they really grasping what I'm saying? Did I say that word correctly? Or I don't know. Maybe I forgot to say something. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Or if I said this, what now were they thinking? And I don't care anymore. I know what I came to do. I know what I came to say. I know what I came to accomplish. As long as those things are met, hey, then I did what I was paid to do.
The law of relativity is in full play. That's all
Yeah,
I'm going to say.
yeah,
A second will feel like an hour or a minute. And you be like
absolutely.
this,
It
how
does.
long was
It
I on
does.
stage? You was on
Yeah.
stage for 5 minutes. How
Are you
can a second
sure?
feel like I was on there for an hour?
No, and that's the truth. I last month I am the vice president of the Rochester Black Authors Association
Hmm.
here in Rochester, New York, and so we had a segment on TV. It was a 3.5 to 4 minute segment to talk about our book expo.
Yeah.
I don't think I breathed the whole time. I'm quite confident. I held my breath the whole time, but I didn't pass out. So clearly, I didn't hold my breath the whole time. But I was
Yeah.
nervous for live TV. But the host, Alexis Arnold, she said, uh, "Just talk." She's like, "Just look at me." Okay, and I looked at her the whole time. Looked at her and the vice president of the organization. She was sitting next to me, so I would look at her while she's speaking, and I would look back at Alexis Arnold, and that's how it went. I didn't pay the camera any mind because had I looked at the camera, I probably would have froze.
Hmm.
I know I would have froze. But when you say 10 seconds, 5 minutes can feel like an hour, it absolutely does. It
Yeah.
goes by. It goes by quickly
Yeah.
because it goes. How can I explain it? It goes by quickly, but it seems long. It seems like yeah, it seems like it's a long time, but it's not.
And if y'all want to know the law of relativity, the best person I ever heard describe this was LL Cool J off of D2C. And he said, if you put your hand on a hot woman, a minute can feel like a second. But you put your hand on a hot stove, a second can feel like
Yeah,
a minute.
yeah,
That's the law of relativity, y'all.
yeah.
If you don't believe me, go look it up, go read it. But yes, we are at the point of the show where I call the credentials, where
The
you give,
credentials.
yeah, where you give the people like like your Facebook, your IG, your Twitter, where they can come and meet you and stuff, and look at your work and stuff. So hey, the
Yeah.
floor is yours, and I'm just gonna step aside and you take it away.
Okay. So as I first said when I hopped on, I am Ebony Nicole Smith, the writing coach and publishing engineer. I help faith-based men and women to start, finish, design, publish, and release the book that God gave them. Um, I am easily found by Googling my name, Ebony Nicole Smith. That brings up everything related to me. Any articles that I've written, it brings up my website, which is also my name. You can find me just by simply doing that. But for those who do not want to do all of that, you can find my website again, which is my name, ebonynicolesmith.com. I am on Instagram as at Coach Ebony Nicole, as well as on Facebook. You can search me under at Coach Ebony Nicole. Twitter, I do tweet every once in a while. I'm not a fan of Twitter, but if you are on Twitter, you can find me under Coach Ebony Smith, I think. See, that's how much I don't tweet, but it's on there. I believe that's the name. But that's me. If you don't remember any other handle, just search my name, Ebony Nicole Smith, and you will find me.
Okay, y'all. All right, there you go, Miss Ebony Nicole Smith. Thank you for
Yeah.
being on the show.
Oh, thank
And you
you.
are welcome back anytime because, yeah, I love having positive people on the
Yeah.
T Corner because this is what I built it for. I built it for positive vibes, positive
Yeah.
change, something positive for the arts and stuff.
Yeah.
So please come back whenever you like
I
to.
will.
Back, yes, we would definitely like to have you back at any time. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on. It was a pleasure to chat with you today.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And now, ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know when you do this for the real live, it's a whole different kind of atmosphere. But hey, do it enough, you get used to it. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
Terence the Spoken King, signing off. One love, one dream. Until next time, y'all, peace and blessings to y'all. And we out.